Hello, I'm George Kittah, financial strategist with Four Oaks Financial. Welcome to Market Moments with George. Please like and subscribe to get weekly notifications. Hello there, fellow patriots. Welcome to another deep dive into the ever-changing landscape of the U.S. economy. Let's talk about the U.S. economy, that magical realm where things are always either about to boom or headed for disaster. It's a place where fortunes are made and lost in the blink of an eye. It's enough to give you economic whiplash. One moment, the stock market is soaring to new heights, and the next, it's plummeting into the abyss. Right now, it's a mixed bag, folks. Some sectors are thriving, while others are struggling to keep their heads above water. It's a tale of two economies. We've got dockworkers finally back on the job, but their contract negotiations are giving everyone heartburn. The ripple effects of these negotiations can be felt across the supply chain, impacting everything from shipping times to product availability. Meanwhile, the cost of living in our fair nation, it's climbing steadily, putting a strain on household budgets. Let's just say it's making even the fanciest avocado toast seem like a risky investment. Everyday items are becoming luxury goods, and people are feeling the pinch. But hey, at least we're creating jobs, right? Well, sort of. While job creation numbers look promising on the surface, many of these positions are part-time or temporary, leaving workers in a precarious situation. We'll dive into that too. The quality of jobs being created is just as important as the quantity, and it's a topic that deserves our attention. So buckle up, Buttercup. It's time for a wild ride through the current state of the U.S. economy. From Wall Street to Main Street, we'll explore the highs and lows, the triumphs and challenges, and everything in between. Stay tuned, because this economic roller coaster is just getting started. Remember those supply chain issues we all love to hate? Well, they're back, baby, and this time it's personal. U.S. dockworkers on the West Coast were playing a real-life game of contract negotiation chicken earlier this year, and let's just say it ruffled a few feathers. And shipping containers. The good news? They're back at work. The bad news? A new contract hasn't been signed yet, which means we're basically living on borrowed time before the next potential strike. So enjoy your readily available imported goods while you can, America. This fragile peace might not last. Here's a head scratcher. Unemployment benefit claims are up, but layoffs are at historic lows. This paradox has left many scratching their heads, trying to make sense of the seemingly contradictory data. On one hand, more people are filing for unemployment benefits, suggesting that they're out of work or struggling to find stable employment. It's like the economic version of your dog barking at a butterfly. Confusing, but kind of adorable. So what's the deal? Why are we seeing this strange combination of high unemployment claims and low layoffs? Well, some experts say it's just a temporary blip, a momentary anomaly in the data. They argue that this could be due to seasonal adjustments or short-term factors that don't reflect the overall health of the economy. Others believe it's a sign of a churn in the job market as people switch careers faster than Taylor Swift changes costumes on tour. This could mean that workers are leaving their current jobs in search of better opportunities, higher wages, or more fulfilling careers. However, there are those who worry it's a sign of a looming recession, a potential warning that the economy might be heading for a downturn. They point to other economic indicators, such as slowing growth and declining consumer confidence, as evidence that trouble could be on the horizon. It's like the economic equivalent of that weird mole you keep meaning to get checked out. You know it's probably nothing, but there's always that nagging worry in the back of your mind. Only time will tell who's right. As the days and weeks go by, we'll get more data and a clearer picture of what's really happening in the job market. In the meantime, let's all just appreciate the absurdity of it all, shall we? The economy is full of surprises, and sometimes all we can do is sit back, watch the show, and try to find the humor in the chaos. September, jobs report. Good news, mostly. Drumroll, please. The The September 2024 US jobs report is in, and it's pretty decent actually. We added a healthy chunk of jobs, showing that the economy isn't quite ready to throw in the towel just yet. However, before we all break out the champagne and confetti cannons, let's not forget that wage growth is still lagging behind inflation. So while we're creating jobs, those jobs aren't necessarily paying enough to keep up with the rising cost of, well, everything. It's like winning a race, but getting a participation trophy filled with nickels. Oil and Iran. A recipe for price hikes? The global oil market is a complex web of geopolitics, economics, and sometimes sheer unpredictability. Remember those halcyon days of cheap gas? Yeah, me neither. It seems like a distant memory, a time when filling up your tank didn't feel like taking out a second mortgage. And if Goldman Sachs is right, which, let's be honest, they usually are, we might be in for even more pain at the pump. Their analysts have been crunching the numbers, and the outlook isn't pretty. We're talking about a potential surge in oil prices that could make today's high prices look like a bargain. Imagine paying even more for each gallon of gas. It's enough to make anyone wince. They're predicting a potential oil shock thanks to, you guessed it, Iran. The situation in the Middle East has always been a tinderbox, and right now it seems like someone is about to light a match. Apparently, they're not exactly thrilled about the whole global sanctions thing and might decide to stir the pot a bit. These sanctions have been squeezing their economy, and their patience is wearing thin. And when I say stir the pot, I mean potentially disrupt global oil supplies and send prices soaring. Iran has a history of using its oil exports as a geopolitical tool, and this time might be no different. Disruptions in oil supply can have a ripple effect across the globe. When one major player in the oil market decides to make a move, it can send shockwaves through the entire system. Prices can skyrocket, and economies can feel the strain. So, if you're planning a road trip anytime soon, you might want to think twice. The open road might not be as inviting when gas prices are through the roof. Maybe it's time to dust off that old bicycle or consider public transportation. The future of travel might look a lot different if these predictions come true. So buckle up, or rather, lace up those walking shoes, because we might be in for a bumpy ride. The Fed's balancing act, inflation versus growth. Meanwhile, over at the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell is sweating more than a turkey on Thanksgiving. He's got the unenviable task of trying to tame inflation without completely tanking the economy. It's like trying to juggle chainsaws while riding a unicycle on a tightrope over a pit of angry badgers. Will he succeed? Who knows? But one thing's for sure, whatever he does, it's going to be interesting. And by interesting, I mean potentially terrifying. Connecting the dots, how these trends intertwine. Okay, so we've got dock workers holding their breath, big city dreams getting pricier by the minute, and the Fed trying to perform economic acrobatics. What does it all mean? Well, my friends, it means that the US economy is a complex, interconnected web of chaos and confusion. Everything affects everything else, and trying to predict what's going to happen next is about as effective as reading tea leaves in a hurricane. But hey, that's what makes it exciting, right? Conclusion. Buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride. So there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour of the current state of the US economy. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and it's probably going to give us all a few more gray hairs before it's all said and done. But hey, at least we're all in this together, right? Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go stock up on canned goods, gasoline, and those little stress balls you squeeze. You know, just in case.
Take control of your financial future. Contact me today.